What's up, dog? Go on then. Well, we're back on the road again, which makes this day 23. Starting, of course, where I left off on day 22 at Chipping Warden. Now we're back on phase one, firmly on phase one in Northamptonshire. I thoroughly expected there to be more evidence of HS2 works, and there hasn't been really, not today at least. Part of that is because of Chipping Warden, because it was going to be a prerequisite to have a bypass built at Chipping Warden, and very much like what happened with Carillion, Dornus, the firm that was going to build the bypass, got the contract from HS2 and promptly went bust. So that bypass hasn't really happened. There doesn't seem to be a great deal of work going on around here, which is disturbing in one way, because one of the places that I walked through today was the site of the Battle of Edgecote, a decisive, well, a very important battle in the Wars of the Roses. And I saw absolutely no evidence whatsoever of any archaeological works not taking place, but having ever took place. Maybe they did, but if they did, they were quite minimal, and they were quite a while ago, unless there was somewhere that wasn't actually on the route of HS2. I'm genuinely bemused, because HS2 have made a big fuss about doing loads of archaeological work, and you know, they're going to make a TV program at Britain's biggest dig, and yeah, they're doing a lot of work at, say, Birmingham and London, where they're digging up the graveyards. But I would have thought, War of the Roses battlefield, come on, that's got to be worth an episode or two. But no, it doesn't seem to. Well, there's definitely no work, as far as I can tell, taking place now, and no real evidence that anything substantial took place in the past. Other places, obviously, around Greatworth, the other side of Greatworth, there was fields, you know, with fences, pointless fences that seem to serve no purpose except to cut off crops so they can't be harvested. And on the other side of the road, there was a load of Harris fencing and CCTV that was protecting a load of Harris fencing that hadn't been put up. And here is a great example of HS2 Ltd's workmanship, because over there you can see the life preservers that have suggest that there are some ponds over there, that are actually ponds over there if you can see them through the thistles. But this is the soil that they dug out of the ponds, and they just left it here. And now, like the field that is in their possession, and of course not been maintained by the farmer anymore because they've taken it for wildlife and ponds, it's just full of thistles. Obviously the thistles here are sort of I don't know, should we call them like first generation thistles, where they're just coming out of the the soil that was part of the ponds, where in the field where the ponds were, you've got sort of second generation thistles and ponds. And yeah, great work, HS2. This is inspiring us all with a great deal of confidence. Oh my God, it keeps going on as well. I best keep going on too. Best scarecrow ever. Yeah, this is just pointless. And it goes on forever down there. It's, yeah, this is simply, it seems, to make sure that no crops could be planted here, and you know, no money, no productive use can be made out of this field. Just wasting money, as you know, HS2 Ltd invariably do. End of the day, made it to Weston. Quite sad at the end, to be perfectly honest, as this organic farm had a shop, had a diverse business. Last time I was there, I was here with the parliamentary HS2 parliamentary committee, and they all stocked up from the shop. And of course now it's just completely abandoned. HS2 has blocked off the bridle way. The footpath is apparently open, said the Eastern European military consultant. I thought, you know, oh, Eastern Europe, you know, you mean security, not military. No, I mean military. Okay. I mean, he said that the footpath's still open; it's just been left to overgrow. And the real shame was that poor bloke. There's a manor house, there's a shop. I think they had meeting rooms there. There's loads of buildings empty. He's clearly living in his car with the guard dog, and you just think, why? What? Right, he's there to guard the house, so why not just let him in the house? Or what? Or if the house is too posh, let him in what was the shop. Seriously, poor fella sleeping in his car to guard an empty house that that HS2 is going through the farm. There you go. There wasn't much else to speak of. There's work that had completed to move electricity cables that go out to Silverstone. That was about it. Obviously, though, in the last week, there have been a few things that have happened away from the walk, such as, obviously, while I was walking, we had the publication, or the re-announcement, I should say, of the review into HS2. But last week, the Alan Cook, what was it called, stock take was published, and oh my god, that bloke hasn't got a clue. It's really, really worrying when you look at the sort of things that he's saying. Like, for every train that you remove, for every train on HS2, it releases a capacity for 11 new trains on the existing network. You what? No, it doesn't, Alan. Really. And you just think it's quite scary that this guy bloke is getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a year to be chairman of this project. He's looking into it. Apparently, he's done this stock take review, that the one that said, oh yeah, about 30 billion over, 5-6 years late. It's a total mess. Public's been lied to for years, and then he's coming up with, oh yeah, 11 extra trains on the existing network just from one HS2 train, and you think, how has that got allowed to be published? How have they not seen that is clearly a really, really big and shocking mistake that fundamentally undermines this bloke, as a reliable source of information? There's a load of other things in the report. I might mention some of them tomorrow. I can't remember what they are, because I've got to say I'm aching a bit. I think I'm actually aching more than I did in the first 3 weeks. I said to start off with, I was always convinced something would go wrong with my body. Well, my hips just don't feel right, or my right hip doesn't feel right. My feet have been sore for a very long while, which didn't really happen much on the first 3 weeks. I'm quite a bit worried, but the good thing is that normally I get somewhere and think, or I'll have something to eat, I might have a pint, and then I'll have to think about pitching up. If I'm lucky, I'll get in the beer garden or something like that where I'm staying. This place, Stratton Arms into Weston, actually has camping in the back garden, in the beer garden, though there seem to be camper vans, and they don't charge, which, you know what, I'm not complaining. In some ways, found someone that does camping, crap, that means I have to pay. But no, I don't. Probably got to the point where I'm wittering a bit now. I'm happy that I made it this far today. It's all looking good. It's about 13, 14 miles. I'm obviously not, the whole problem not in a straight line, not straight at Euston, but it looks good, I would say, to get to the objective of Euston by next Monday. It's Monday today. And I've got to be happy I can pull that off.